welcome to summer reading. I'm Miss Hannah. I do this for Miss Catherine to get the books out. So our theme for summer reading is all together now, and it's about all of us coming together and working together with our friends or even the whole earth. So our theme for this week at summer reading was science and plants, and we could take care of each other and help each other out with plants, growing things. Isn't that cool? So I've got a couple books about it. So here I go. Here, just one second. Our first book is called Plants! And yes, that was very. And this is by Gillian Dorfman and illustrated by Sheila Galbraith. There are many different types of plants in the world. Some grow in rocky places. These plants grow near water. Some grow in woodlands. Some grow in jungles. And these plants grow in the desert. How do plants live? How do they grow? Do you know? There's something. Most plants grow from seeds. A seed lives under the ground. When the sun shines on it and warms the ground, and when the rain falls on it and soaks in the soil, the seed begins to grow. First, down goes the root into the soil. From the big root, smaller roots grow out of it. They help the plant take in water and minerals from the soil. Up grows the shoot towards the sun. Green leaves grow from the shoot. The seed has become a young plant or a seedling. Can you say seedling? Excellent job. The young plant grows. It gets bigger and bigger. All the leaves are busy making food for the plant. They need water and minerals from the soil to make the food. The green leaves grow out toward the sun. The leaves and the sun work together, turning water and minerals from the soil and air all around into food. The plants need food to grow. This process is called photosynthesis. Can you say photosynthesis for me? Ready? Photosynthesis. Excellent job. The buds on the plant open into flowers. The flowers, oops, did I skip a page? Hold on. Nope. The flowers will open to make seeds. You see the flowers? Bees buzz from one flower to another. They help make flowers. They help the flowers make seeds. Sometimes the wind helps flowers make seed. They transfer what we call pollen. Bees love nectar that's in the flowers. That's how they get the pollen all over their legs. As the seeds and the plants grow, the flowers will wither and die. Only a part holding the seed will be left. Slowly it swells and becomes a fruit. Do you like to eat fruit? I like to eat fruit. Soon the fruit is ripe, and soon a hungry bird eats it, seeds and all. Later, the seeds will fall to the ground and the bird's dropping. Or their poop. What happens? Seeds being carried to new places by animals, like on the fox, you see the burr seeds right there, or by the wind with the dandelion. Some seeds are scattered by water, like the coconut. Did you know it does that? And some scatter their own seeds, like this flower right here. I don't know what flower that is. Oh, it's a wood sorrel. The wood sorrel just goes. Seeds may fall on rocks where they cannot grow. But this coconut seed has been washed onto the soil, and the sun will warm it, and the rain will soak it, and it will grow into a new plant, specifically a palm tree. Each type of plant is special and grows in its own special way. Some plants grow very fast, and some grow very slowly. A daisy or some little flowers, they grow so fast. I'll show you one here in a little bit. But a tree, it takes a long time. Beech trees are an example of a big plant. Have you seen a big plant like a beech tree? There are so many different parts of it. Poppies and buttercups are itty-bitty plants. They're just small. They're not itty-bitty. They're just small. There are green plants, and there are some that are not green. These are fungi. They're not technically plants, but we kind of place them with plants sometimes. There are plants with flowers, and there's some that with no flowers at all, like Evergreens or some conifers, they don't have flowers, they just have cones. And ferns, they have what we call spores. Isn't that cool? Each plant grows in its own special place. Some grow in hot, dry places like cacti, and some grow in cold and windy places like mountain. These mountain flowers are small, so the wind can't blow them. These are campion. Some grow on land. Most plants grow on land, like trees and forget-me-nots. Some grow in the water, though, like water lilies and reeds. Some plants live alone, like some big trees live alone, right? But sometimes they live in other big plants, with a lot of other plants, like a jungle. There's so many different plants. Each plant is different, but nearly all plants need food, water, air, and sun. If a plant has these things, it can feed and grow and make new plants. It can live. The end. Do you like plants? I like plants. They are so important to us. Do you guys want to do a quick rhyme with a plant? I like to move after I read, so let's do a quick rhyme. A quick rhyme with this is a one that we did at summer reading. It's called Dig the Earth. Okay, here we go. It goes, dig, dig, dig the earth, then you plant your seeds. A gentle rain and bright sunshine will help our plants grow. I know some of you older kids may think it's silly, but it gives you a chance to move. So let's do it one more time all together. Here we go. Dig, dig, dig the earth, then you plant your seeds. A gentle rain and bright sunshine will help our plants grow. One more time, one more time, one more time. Okay, here we go. Dig, dig, dig the earth, then we plant our seeds. A gentle rain and bright sunshine will help our plants grow. Excellent job. We have one more story. Let's do it. Our next story is called The Curious Garden. This is by Peter Brown and illustrated by him too. Go figure. I didn't see it. So this is written and illustrated by Peter Brown. There once was a city without gardens or trees or greenery of any kind. Most people spent their time indoors. As you can imagine, it was a very dreary place. However, there was one little boy who loved being outside. Even on drizzly days, while everyone stayed inside, you could always find Liam happily splashing through his neighborhood. It was on one such morning that Liam made several surprising discoveries. He was wandering around the old railway, as he did from time to time, when he stumbled upon a dark stairwell leading up to the tracks. The railroad had stopped working years ago. And since Liam always wanted to explore the tracks, there was only one thing for a curious boy to do. What do you think he's going to do? You think so? Let's find out. Liam ran up the stairs, pushed open the door, and stepped out on the railway. The first thing he saw was a lonely patch of color. Wildflowers and plants were the last thing he expected to find up here, but when he took a closer look, it became clear that the plants were dying. They needed a gardener. Liam may not have been a gardener, but he knew he could help. So he returned to the railway the very next day and got to work. The flowers nearly drowned, and he had a few pouring problems, but the plants patiently waited while Liam found better ways of gardening. See, he almost drowned the flowers, and then he pruned it too much. But what is he doing now? Singing to his plant. As the weeks rolled by, Liam began to feel like a real gardener, and the plants began to feel like a real garden. Look how green it's there. Was it green in the beginning? Most gardens stay in one place, but this was no ordinary garden. With miles of open railway ahead of it, the garden was growing restless. It wanted to explore. The tough little weeds and mosses were the first ones to move. They popped up farther and farther down the tracks and were closely followed by the more delicate plants. Over the next few months, Liam and his curious garden explored every corridor of the railway. Look how big it's gotten. Do you see how big it's gotten? Look how much it's grown. Look how beautiful that is. They're exploring further down, you see? After spending his spring and summer and autumn with his garden, Liam's time on the railway was finally interrupted by winter. Heavy blankets of snow fell in the city this season, and for the first time since he's become a gardener, Liam could not visit his plants. Look at him. He wants to visit his plants so bad. Look at him. He wants. Rather than waste his winter worrying about his garden, Liam spent his time prepping for spring. After 3 cold months of snow, the snow finally began to melt, and Liam rolled up his new gardening gear over to the railway. Look at all his stuff that he has. Winter had taken its toll on the garden, but thanks to Liam's planning, his handy new tools, and a little help from the sun, the plants soon awoke from their winter sleep. The garden had always wanted to explore the rest of the city, and that spring it was finally ready to make its move. Once again, tough little weeds and mosses were the first set out first. Then they popped farther and farther from the railway and were closely followed by the more delicate plants. The garden was especially curious about old, forgotten things. Look, it found an old car, and it found some cracks in the sidewalk. Isn't that interesting? A few plants popped up where they didn't belong, like on a stop sign or on a fire hydrant. Others mysteriously popped up all at once, in a pot and in the wheelbarrow. But the most surprising thing was that there were new gardeners. Look at all the people starting to help. They're working all together now. There we go, there's a plug. Oh, look at them. They're all helping. Look at all the green. Look at that. Isn't that silly? There's different animals of the shape. I think it'd be nice to have it on stairs. Look how tall some of these trees have gotten. Sneaking in. Many years later, the entire city had blossomed. But of all the new gardens, Liam's favorite was where it all began. Where did it all begin? On the railway. Look at that difference. Look at how green it is. Do you remember in the first page how dark and dreary it was? Let me show you so you can remember. Look at how dark and dreary and gray it is. And then look how green and bright it is. The end. So one thing that we did at summer reading this week is we made pots and planted some marigolds in it. So this is an activity you can do at home. You just need a pot and some soil and some seeds, and you can work all together with us and plant some new things for our world. And we will see you next time, hopefully on Tuesday. Until then, goodbye.